Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all well. We are in the room. The memorabilia is all up. You can see that, and we've got a tree light thing there. That's just come out the other room for now because of certain reasons. But yeah, we are back with another beer review, like I say, and it's another one from Purple Moose Brewery. And this, well, it's from their shop, but this is actually one from Purple Moose. And the beer we are looking at is a can of their Cader Idris, and it is a Welsh Best Bitter. Hope you can see that. It's beautiful artwork on there. It's coming in at 4.7%, 440ml can. Not sure how much it was. Probably around the £3.50 mark, something like that. I bought 17 cans, bottles. They're coming at 55 quid. So yeah, about the £3.50-ish mark, I'm going to say. Lovely artwork. There we go. They're out of Porthmadog. Now, I've said before, Porthmadog. It's spelt Porthmadog, but it's actually pronounced Porthmadog. So yeah, beautiful artwork, like I say. It's been outside for a bit. Then it was in the fridge for a bit, but I have left it out. It's probably about, worst case scenario, about 6 degrees. Best case, about 8, 9. It's going in the Purple Moose glass. There we go. Lovely Purple Moose pint glass. Or if you're Welsh, Moose Purple. Let's get it cracked open. See what we get. The Best Bitter. And I'm going to refer back to, once again, Mr. B's Homebrews and Beer Reviews, because he'd done a video about how they call him bitters amber ales now, but it appears in Wales they're sticking with bitter. Awful lot of beers out there I saw in this shop that were called bitter, not amber ale. So there's a little bit left in the glass. It's very pale for a bitter, very pale. It's like a golden sort of looking colour to me. Looks a lot like lighter on the camera, what you're seeing, but it is very sort of like, it's almost a golden straw colour. Gentle bubbles going up, and a good 2 finger of quite fluffy head. Bit left in the can, like I say. Is there any spiel on the back? I can read. No, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, Welsh Best Bitter, 4.7%. Let's dive in with the nose. Now I'm trying to get these out of the way because I'm feeling a little bit throaty at the moment. Typical just before I go on holiday. Okay. Not really getting that standard sort of bitter vibe, if you like. Malty. I mean, bitter's going to be malty. Maybe toffee caramel in there, and they're going to be hoppy. A little bit malty, a little bit sweet, a little bit maybe. Not sure what the sweetness is. I don't want to say it's toffee or anything like that, but there's not an awful lot coming off it, if I'm totally honest. So, rather than sniff it for 4 weeks, let's get the rest out the can into the glass. Certainly doesn't look typical bitterish. It certainly doesn't smell typical bitterish, but it does look like a decent beer. Bubbles going up the middle. Like I say, clear golden colour, and we got a big 2 finger white head. Let's dive in and give Purple Moose Brewery Cader Idris Welsh Best Bitter, 4.7% a taste. Cheers. It's definitely bitter. It's definitely got that bitter feel about it, but we'll come back to all the taste and that. Body 4.7. Yeah, not bad. Definitely a bit bready, that sort of body. Gentle carbonation. Quite smooth. but does feel, I mean, I said it's got a bready body, but it does feel quite light and quite thin. Definitely leaves you with a bitterness there. The liquid is pretty nice, quite smooth, quite soft. It's, for me, I mean, I'm not going into taste notes too much, but for me, it's bordering golden ale, I would say. Certainly even in the taste as well. On the taste, malty, but pale malts, which you would kind of expect looking at that. It's almost got a golden ale maltiness to it. It's got the bitterness of a best bitter, but it hasn't got that sort of toffee, maybe caramel note, that sort of dark maltiness, which is what I like with a best bitter, if I'm honest. I like that odd little bit of sweetness. I like the fuller body. This feels a little bit different to me. I mean, it's definitely got the bitter back end as well. So in that sense, it does feel like a bitter. Very sort of dry bitterness as well. Bear with me, because I swear there's a bit of wind coming up. Pardon me. A little bit of a... I'm getting sort of like a little bit of lemon lime there for me. A little bit fruity, a little bit of lemon and lime in there, I think. A little bit zesty, I'm going to say. 4.7%, do you get that? I've got to admit, I'm struggling with this one. Yeah, it has that sort of bitter hoppy bite to it. That, I mean, you certainly know it's 4.7%, I think. I wouldn't say it's no sort of strong alcohol, but I think certain flavours in there, like the bitterness, certainly give it that potent feel, if you like. Could certainly pass for stronger than that. But maybe it's just a different style of bitter, but for me it feels a little bit sort of golden ale. It's got that sort of, it's got very much a golden ale feel, but I want to say it's lacking something, but I don't know. Is it a bitter? For me, it's not a bitter in the true sense of the word. Yes, it has a bitter feel to it, but you could also, if this was called a golden ale, I mean, you could probably say, well, there's bitter elements in there, but it's definitely a mix between both styles for me. If it's your thing, it's your thing. It's not the sort of bitter I like. I like certainly a darker bitter than that with different flavours. It maybe feels a little bit like a craft bitter, you could say. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Will I drink it? I'll finish it off. It's not that bad, don't get me wrong. But it's just not what I was expecting, I think. So for me personally, I find that a little bit disappointing. But hey ho, I guess it depends on what you like. So Purple Moose Brewery and their Cader Idris Welsh Best Bitter. Before we go, don't do it for me personally. A bit too much like a bit of a lackluster sort of golden ale, really, or a lackluster bitter. It's a cross between the two, and for me, it doesn't do enough of either really well for me to really say I like it. So yeah, for me, I'm not going to say don't try it, but it's not my cup of tea. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Look out for this at some time between the back end of May, start of June. And I will see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.